Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, second day of the week. Today we're going to work more seriously on the life of an American slave. We kind of started the slavery issue yesterday, made a little progress about a history of slavery in America. Today we're going to use a series of primary sources, the kind of documents written or experienced by people who actually lived through an event, to kind of figure out a little bit about what slave life was all about. Now, you and I in a cement block classroom in 2021 cannot possibly understand how bad slave life was. That is just not our experience at all. And we certainly can't create the mindset that slaves might have had of never, ever being free. Fortunately, we don't understand that. But today we're going to try to at least get a little bit of insight into the horrors of slavery. So we're going to do that by visiting several stations around the room. That's why you're seated in the same seat you were in yesterday. You have a number on your set of desks, and we'll explain what all that is about. First, today our LEQ is about what was the life of an American slave like. If you are in Canvas, you're in week of May 10 to 14. We are moving on to Tuesday. There we go. Slavery, very controversial, and you're going to be answering in a little bit about why this was so controversial by being able to put together several paragraphs about how bad slave life was. But let me explain a little bit how you're going to go about learning about the life of an American slave. First of all, you want this document that says Life of an American Slave, notes from primary sources. Okay, you picked this up yesterday. If you didn't get one yesterday, if you weren't here, they are now over on the shelves under the clock. You can get one there. If you are a distance learner, you can get one of these from right here. The station rotation activity, well, you can do it Monday or Tuesday. Station rotation activity. If you click on that, oops, hang on a second. We need to fix that. Okay, so you want to click on the station rotation activity. When that opens, you will see a page, and this is for distance learners, where it says use this document to collect information. Well, you'll get an electronic copy of the same thing that everybody in the room has in a hard copy. Now, if you're at home, you're going to use the same documents that everybody here in the room has by clicking on station 1, station 2, station 3, the whole way down through station number 10. If you're here in the room today, you are going to be traveling around to different sets of desks where you'll see some folders. Now, like this one says slavery number 1, for example. When you're at station number 1, you're going to open up that folder. You're going to pull out the documents that are in there. In this case, a series of pictures about, well, this man named Whipped Peter. Whipped Peter is the man in the picture here. You'll look at the pictures. You'll use your skills of observe and interpret that we've practiced many times in this class. You'll take a look at that picture. What do you see? What do you observe? You're going to record some notes about these different pictures on this sheet of paper. Now, here's the trick. Here's what's kind of hard for kids sometimes. There's not a specific box on here that says, here's what you write down about, beatings and punishments. Or here's what you write about the slave ship experience. Or here's what you write about daily work. You'll probably notice all these different folders full of material all have different things in them. It's up to you to construct the meaning about what does this mean? Do I write something about this picture under, punishments? Or about emotional pain or whatever it is? That's kind of up to you to decide where you're going to record what you're seeing here, your observations and your interpretations. Now, you're going to do that for 10 different stations of folders in the room. So you're going to go through station 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole way up through number 10. Now, when you get to number 10 for today, there we go. When you get to number 10, you are reading some about the story of Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman is probably the most famous operator on the Underground Railroad in America. the Underground Railroad really comes about after 1850, helping slaves escape to freedom. So you'll read the story, kind of like story time in elementary school. If one of you wants to, you can sit and hold the book and have everybody follow along with the pictures. If I were here today, we'd get carpet squares and we'd sit on the floor in the front of the room and I would read the Harriet Tubman story to you, maybe like you did back in elementary school. So you are constructing your meaning about what where you want to record some information here. When you are at station number 7, you'll actually see that on the wall behind me or on the current events bulletin board. Station number 7 has several posters of slave auctions, slave jobs that slaves might do, different number of things about crime or punishment or whatever. And so when you're at station 7, which is in the back corner of the room next to the file cabinets, you're using the documents that are on the wall that you can see behind me right now. At each station, you'll remain there long enough to collect the information, be able to read through some of the documents or look at the pictures, and record some things on your sheet, of course, constructing your own meaning about where you want to write some of these things. When your teacher directs you to move on to the next station, you're going to the next highest number, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, the whole way through. If you're at number 10, you'll move on to number 1 and kind of start working your way up through the numbers. That'll be up to the teachers who are here in the room with you, or Mrs. Sanders, or Mrs. Young, or Mrs. Meyer, depending who is with you at the time. I imagine there won't be a substitute, it'll be coverages. So thank you to all those people who are helping me out by coming in and covering part of class today. That's what you do with the station rotation, and that'll be most of your class period today. You're going to work on that for a little bit. If you decide at one station, well, I'm finished, I need to, need something to do while I'm waiting to move on. Well, look down here where it says 50 states practice. In about 2 weeks, we're going to be doing our states test on locations and spellings. Yes, and spellings of states. You can click on that and it actually takes you back to our American Cultures Canvas page where there's where you'll see this stuff. There are different ways to practice spelling the New England states. Certainly there's a game that probably a lot of you have done before where you can be practicing for the states. There we go. So you've probably seen this before. You click on the state they're asking you to. See if you can beat me. I had 100% in 1 minute and 33 seconds the other day. So you definitely want to get all these things right. You can also use a numbered states map that might help you practice. There are on this link here a whole bunch of different things that you can practice different pieces of states. Like I've got that map, and let's see, we'll do this in student view. Got the numbered map, and you can do the quiz and practice for our states test that will happen in about 2 weeks. So that's what you're doing if you run out of things to do from one station to the next. Of course, you can also watch CNN 10, which is always a good thing to prepare for current events coming up on Friday. Okay, now later on in the class period, after you've had the chance to work through the station rotation, you are going to be directed to meet your new current events team and make your new current events poster using poster paper that's on top of the table in the front, and also using markers or whatever that are on the tables next to the windows. All right, so be watching out for that. Be sure you behave today. Sometimes people lose control of themselves when they get up and move from one seat to another. You, of course, will not do that today. If your people covering, your teachers covering, or your paraeducator has to tell me that you are not doing well, this is going to be bad for you. So there you go. Working on slavery in America today.